Imagine trying to understand an entire book by just looking at a page. Well, this is nothing but descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics is just like reading a summary to grab all the key insights without going through every single number. So, hello everyone, welcome to the fifth lecture of Statistics for Machine Learning and Data Science. And in this series, I'll be teaching you not only statistics, but all other concepts of machine learning from scratch and in detail. So, the agenda for today's session is to look at what is descriptive statistics and what are the types of descriptive statistics, and then we'll be focusing on one of its types, that is measures of central tendency. Now, what are the types of descriptive statistics? It's measure of central tendency, measures of dispersion, and measures of symmetry. Okay, so imagine when someone asks you how much did you score in class 12 or 10, and what do you say? Do you go about telling them all your marks that you've scored in each individual subject, or you tell them your percentage? Well, percentage is nothing but a measure of central tendency. You tell them one value that describe all your marks. All the marks scored in each subject can be described through one quantity, that is percentage, and it is nothing but a measure of central tendency. So measure of central tendency is one value that describes all your data. So measure of central tendency is also divided into three types. One, as you can see, is median, other is mean, and third is mode. Now let's look at what is mean. Well, mean is also known as arithmetic average. It is one central quantity that describes your entire data. It can be calculated by summing all observations and dividing them by number of all observations. And it is denoted by x bar. This line above x is known as bar. And sum of all observation is nothing but sigma x. Number of all observation is denoted by capital N, and it is equal to x bar, that is the mean. Now let's look at an example to better understand about mean. For example, we have students and we have their marks. The five students have scored 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100 marks respectively. How do we go about calculating mean? First, we'll calculate sigma x, that is, we'll sum all the observations. And then we'll divide them by the number of observations. The number of observations here are 5. And then that will be equivalent to the mean, which is 80. But what if the marks were a little different? Okay, so before moving to the next example, I want to ask you, is mean always the best measure to calculate the marks? Like, is mean always the best measure of central tendency? Is mean always the best measure to find one central value in data? Let's see. Same example. Here I have five students, but this time they have different marks. As I can see, student 1, 2, 3, 4 have scored 10, 15, 20, 25, and student number 5 has scored full marks. If I go about calculating their mean, it will be somewhere around 34. But if I see, is 34 describing this data correctly? I can see students who have scored less than 34, like four students have scored less than 34, and there's only one student who has scored full marks. So in this case, mean does not rightly tell us about the marks. And do you know why is it so? Because if you look carefully at the data, 10, 15, 20, 25 are closer value, but 100 is an extreme value for the data. So mean does not work well in case of extreme values. 100 is an extreme values, and in statistics we call these extreme values as outliers. So there are other measures of central tendency that we have included to calculate outliers, and that we'll be taking up in the next lecture. But now, since we have studied mean, how are we going to implement mean in machine learning? How we are going to code mean? Every time do we have to build up a formula for mean and calculate it? Well, the answer is no. Let's see how do we calculate mean. So here I have opened my VS Code and I'm assuming that all of you know basic Python. So here we have one module which we will be importing. If you don't have that module, download it. We'll be importing statistics module in Python as stat. And then we'll give our data in form of list, that is the number of marks, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And in order to calculate mean, I just need one function, that is stat dot mean. And I want mean of A. And then I'm going to print the mean. Now if I run this code, I get mean here 80. Now there's other module in Python that helps us to calculate mean, and that is NumPy. I'll give the same data. Let's try 10, 15, 20, 25, and 100. And let's try to calculate the mean, which will be np dot mean. And in the bracket, I want mean of A. And I'm going to print the mean. Now when I run this, I get the new mean as 34. Now that we have seen how do we calculate the mean, so next up I'll be telling you what are the ways to tackle outliers, and we'll be talking about some more measures of central tendency, that is the median and the mode. And thank you for watching till the end. If you want all these videos in Hindi, then do let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you.